I went recently to Seattle and Portland. And the thing I noticed is, one, there's lots of Bigfoot-themed establishments and signage. And two, there are a lot of cannabis dispensaries, but like little crossover. I'm just like, you're missing a golden opportunity.
Absolutely.
Like, what about Bigfoot's Blunt Hut? Or like Hash Squatch's Stink Store? Like, like you've missed a great opportunity. The only thing I saw was like Bigfoot Bud Co. And I'm like, meh.
Yeah, that's a failure.
Like, yeah. And so I got a chance to go to the North American Bigfoot Center in Boring, Oregon. It literally was called Boring. I was like, this is going to be fun one way or another. It's what you would imagine. It's a kitschy, small, basically like one room museum with like bunch of like footprint casting. Oh, yeah. There was a casting of a Nutella jug that apparently Bigfoot likes Nutella.
I mean, well, who doesn't?
Yeah, don't we all?
Yeah. I mean, and it's also worth noting, there is more than one Bigfoot, but save that for another episode. It's not about him.
If there are multiple Bigfoot, is it Big Feet or Bigfoots?
I was wondering that too. I don't know. I would assume Big Feet.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I will say, if there are multiple, like a lot of people say Canadian geese, but it's a Canada goose is his name. So it's technically multiple Canada geese.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when they're all together, gooses are gaggles. But what if big feets or foots are all together? What would they be called?
We should come up with like a herd name for the Bigfoots. I'm going to try not to just think about that while everyone's talking.
A rave.
A rave of Bigfoots.
A rave of Bigfoots. There's only one.
It doesn't really fit with their personality.
No, there's only one Bigfoot creature, which we'll talk about in a future episode that's a little bit more rave-like, but otherwise they're pretty chill. Yeah. And they're just like, I'm just hanging out,
We could do a sleuth. A sleuth. That might already be one, too. There's so many different herd names.
What's like a chill word?
I'm trying to think of something like more hippie, like what are Grateful Dead? They're deadheads, right? Grateful Dead people. I don't know. I guess that doesn't really work.
Like a Netflix and chill type word for Bigfoot. Anyway, otherwise, just factoids. There was a Bigfoot statue, and
I love the pictures of you at the Bigfoot establishment. The iconic arms out.
Yeah,
I tried to do a sexy one, but then I got embarrassed halfway through. The photo's really bad.
No, I loved it. I think it's the one you sent. One of the ones you sent me.
Yeah, I was like trying to like stick my butt out.
Yeah.
That stuff's always weird for me.
I took some nude photos, and it was like on a tripod. And then when I got up to go turn the thing off, there was a photo of me like walking past, and it's the exact Bigfoot pose. But you can only see me from like waist down. So there's a part of me that's like, well, I got to post this everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I already do post most of them.
Yeah. I was pretty bummed because, I was running around Bigfoot country. Did not see a Bigfoot personally. Even hung my ass out in Bigfoot country. Nothing to show for it.
Yeah, but you have to do the Bigfoot call to get them to come to you.
I'm not going to do that too close to the mic.
Is that the Bigfoot call?
Yeah.
The whoop whoop?
It's kind of similar to like other primate based on what I learned at the
like a
North American Bigfoot
howler
Center.
Monkey.
Yeah, but it's just like a whooping sound. Supposedly they also like knocking on trees. But yeah, it was still fun. $8.
That's cheap for a day full of... did you get a Bigfoot footcast?
No, they didn't have any available. They actually do sell them.
But they didn't...
But they were sold out. I'm sure it's a hot commodity.
Yeah, but it's a casting. You pour multiple... Can't you? I don't know. Maybe not.
No.
Maybe it ruins it.
No, yes, it's a mold. It's a casting. So you could definitely do that. I don't know. I didn't ask about it, but that's what the sign said. Yeah.
So, I guess you have to have a lot of $8 to get all the plaster you need to.
Yeah. Again, $8 is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Do y'all want to get into it?
Let's get into it.
Hello. Welcome to Love at First Sighting. Sex positive, kink friendly, and thirsty conversations about the monsters and cryptids that traverse our backyards and our imaginations. My name's Joyce. My pronouns are she, they, and I'll be your resident cryptid researcher. I'm bringing the creatures and the facts about them. Basically a monster book report. Joining me is Jim. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I'm here to rep the monster fucker in all of us. I will be bringing the cryptid porn.
Nice. And we also have joining us Coco.
Hey, I am the unlearned in the way of cryptids, but I do bring extensive knowledge of gender and sexuality, a black belt in queer, and a downright slutty disposition. I'm here to learn and get horny.
Love it. Love it. All right. So, before I begin, I'm sure if you have found this podcast, you know what a cryptid is, but just in case, per Webster's dictionary, a cryptid is an animal such as Sasquatch or the Loch Ness Monster that has been claimed to exist but never proven to exist. For the purposes of this podcast, we're going to say creature, wink, because bestiality is not cool. Not trying to yuck anyone's yums, but some yums are yucky. So basically, a creature with no definitive proof of their existence or non-existence.
There were a lot of eyebrows there. I just want to be very clear.
I know, you can't hear an eyebrow.
There was so many eyebrows going around.
All right.
That can be one of my jobs, is just point out anytime someone does eyebrows, including myself.
Love it. All righty. So, today, we're bringing you the Flatwoods monster, also known as the Phantom of Flatwoods, the Green Monster, or simply Braxxie.
And I do want to point out that, like, you guys have said the name a million times, and it has not meant anything to me this entire. I do not know anything about this creature other than the images that I have now seen, but that's it. And all of them are silhouette, so I don't know anything else other than it looks like a big leafy lady.
Yeah, so Braxxie, I would say, has one of the best fashion senses of most of the cryptids out there.
Definitely.
Yeah, like, we'll talk more about it, but good design. So, the first encounter happened September 12th, 1952 in Flatwoods, West Virginia, Braxton County, hence the name Braxxie. So, the story started out with children playing near a local elementary school in the playground when one of the children saw a flash of light or like a fireball like shoot through the sky and like crash into the woods. And obviously pretty alarmed, but also their kids like, let's go check it out. And so I think like wisely, they, went and got their mother. So it was Eddie and Freddie May and their friends, and they went to go get their mother, Kathleen May, who called a National Guardsman by the name Gene Lemon, which I'm not making this shit up. It's real. Gene Lemon. So once in the woods, the group saw like a red, like pulsating light kind of emanating far off in the distance. And so one of them shined their flashlight in the direction. What they saw coming from the woods was a 10-foot tall creature with a spade-shaped head and seemed to be wearing a metallic dress. It had spindly arms and hands, glowing orange or red eyes, depending on what source you kind of look at. It was kind of levitating. They also noticed a like lingering mist and a really like just terrible odor in the air. The creature suddenly hissed and started like floating towards them. And as most people would, they ran away. So, and then they went and reported it to further authorities. Some of the sources I kind of read said that authorities found nothing. Other sources say that they found like they smelled that terrible smell and they saw some singed trees and broken limbs and stuff. There was another sighting that same night. A couple of people were walking through the woods, taking a shortcut after a shopping trip, and they noticed a creature. This was in Heaters, West Virginia, which isn't too far from Flatwoods. They saw what they described initially as a very tall, dark man, and then they kind of saw it, and their description fit the first kind of encounter's description. And again, they ran. As you do, you got to run. So the last encounter that I could really find on the books was about a day later. The sighting happened in Strange Creek, which is like 20 miles from Flatwoods. And a couple and their baby were driving through Braxton County late at night.